Some friends are getting crispy, the world's oldest wine, and have you saved a raccoon choking on cheese today? Hey, I'm Greg Ott, and we're rounding up some of this week's weirdest food news stories here on your daily news refresh. Before we bite down, give us a like and a hot subscribe to tell the algorithm you want more of this stuff in your feed. Thanks. Could we be any more excited? That's what the Krispy Kreme people are asking about their new limited edition Friends Donuts. A tribute collection of 4 unique varieties honoring the second most iconic 90s show about real life in New York. And by real life, I mean the show that set unrealistic expectations for big city living in your 20s, which according to Time Magazine website, included the ideas that your friends will always be around to hang out, you can afford a 2-bedroom place in Greenwich Village on tips and chef wages, and you can even regularly get a good seat in a busy coffee shop. Nevertheless, this We Were on a Coffee Break donut, topped with cafe latte flavored icing and a chocolate swirl, honors that very ideal. Along with this How You Doin' mango and passion fruit dipped donut that resembles Monica's framed peephole, this strawberry and custard filled trifle donut covered with chocolate and green sprinkles, and one that's just called Friends, which contains, among other things, the word Friends. These Friends donuts also come with some stickers and a themed box. And if you really want them, there's just one catch. You have to go to the United Kingdom. Yeah, in spite of Friends being an American show set in America and Krispy Kreme being an American brand, this limited edition drop is only available in stores, markets, and for delivery across the pond. And if that's not disappointing enough to friends of friends, Krispy Kreme even just offered up this limited edition Joey Doesn't Share donut slicer to cut these snacks into pieces for a limited time, again, only in the UK. Sorry. These donuts you can't get in New York or anywhere else in the USA commemorates Friends ahead of its 30th anniversary, which made its television debut on September 22nd, 1994. It's not clear if these donuts are ever coming stateside, or if there's any plan to commemorate the 20th anniversary of Joey, the Friends spin-off that debuted on September 9th, 2004, and, according to the only complete online Joey ratings archive, was actually watched by millions upon millions of people. As for whether we could be any more excited, well, yeah, probably. As a child of the 90s who didn't watch Friends, I'd personally rather sink my teeth into some Shasta McNasty donuts, but I assume that's just me. There are some things that get better with age. Denim, cheese, and shockingly the critical appraisal of Freddie Got Fingered. And then of course there's wine, the beverage famously not sold before its time by an apparently drunken Orson Welles.
It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage, dated.
But a $5 lightly aged bottle of Paul Masson White Zin is one thing. What archaeologists have come across in Europe is something else. So during some home renovations in Spain back in 2019, an ancient Roman tomb was discovered, and contained within that tomb were some urns, one of which was full of some cremated remains and a little more than a gallon of a reddish liquid. And after a team of scientists carried out a chemical analysis, well, they found out that reddish liquid was wine, albeit infused with some tasting notes of an old cremated Roman. As the study notes, back in Roman times, wine was usually mixed with foods to accompany the deceased into their transition to a better world. Sounds good to me. And it's believed that this wine is around 2,000 years old, which this study says makes it the oldest discovery of wine conserved in the liquid state. It's worth mentioning that discoveries of well-preserved old foods are having a bit of a moment right now. As we just told you about here on your news refresh, please subscribe, archaeologists over at Mount Vernon just unearthed dozens upon dozens of jars of George Washington's well-preserved cherries and other fruits. How about that? Anyway, the lead author of this old wine study told CNN what's notable is that wine normally evaporates quickly and is chemically unstable, and that a find like this is virtually impossible. It's just that a hermetic seal happened to stop this stuff from evaporating, and over the past 2 millennia, nobody's been down there to pour themselves a nice glass of Marcus-infused sherry. Given its reddish color, the liquid was ultimately identified as, you guessed it, white wine, since it didn't contain a substance that's present only in red wine. Indeed, this study says the wine from the jar here is most likely similar to that of a regional Fino. And the lead author of the study told CNN they plan to work through hundreds of different wines to find the best match. Nice work if you can get it. Finally, here's a guy saving a raccoon that's choking on cheese.
I'm like, man, it looks like it's choking. So I went back behind it, and I started, doing what I was taught to try to save someone from choking.
So recently in Michigan, this guy named Bill was with 2 of his buddies in his yard where they spotted this raccoon.
Initially, when it come up, it was acting a little skittish. It kind of arched its back up like it was ready to attack, and we were keeping our distance from it. And then after a little while, it grew comfortable with us, and it was just kind of roaming around all over the yard.
The thing seemed friendly at first, perhaps a bit too friendly with one of the guys.
We're hanging out and it realized that we weren't a threat to it. It got closer to us and let us pet it, and then it climbed up on my leg.
As the night went on, this guest decided to help itself to a snack in the proper manner of any raccoon.
Must have delved into our trash. Looked like he had a little piece of cheese with him, and he was eating it, started choking, and it did this weird little thing. It reared up on its hind legs and like was given seemingly, it looked like the universal sign for choking. It was kind of really strange. I was like, Billy, you might want to check this out. And next thing I know, Billy's over there patting him on the back. A little bit lower, Bill. Upward motion. There you go. There it is. A little bit lower.
Let's save his life. Let's go. You're not gonna die there once.
Yes.
You're not gonna die.
You saved his life. I hope that you got that.
I was in total disbelief. I couldn't stop laughing because I literally could not believe what was going on. Bill's literally smacking a wild raccoon and it's letting him do it.
Yeah, you may notice that as Bill attempts to save the creature's life with some helpful but forceful pats, his friends pepper him with advice.
I'm like, dude, you're doing it a little bit wrong. You might want to do it at a little bit lower, like an upward motion. And as soon as he did that, it shot that right out of its mouth.
Let's go. You're not gonna die.
You know, without my coach over there, you know, telling me the proper way to do it, it probably wouldn't have lived. So it's pretty awesome.
I was really excited for the little guy because he was in a bad way, and could have been really bad. It would have been horrible, you know, to watch that little sucker die. But it all worked out. I was pretty impressed. I did not expect any of this viralness to happen.
Yeah, on TikTok alone, this video they recorded has been viewed around 20 million times. Just like this video, right? And in the comments, Lil Yukon wrote, "Raccoon walking away like, why bro pet so hard?" AJ Man Foxworthy, "If you ever saved a raccoon from choking, you might be a redneck." And J-Man Devil asked, "Did a bunch of drunken stoned fellas just save a raccoon from choking? America." To which one of the guys replied, "Hell yes, brother."
People online call me a hero and everything else. It's crazy.
I do think Bill's a hero, yeah. I mean, if he wouldn't have done it, I would have jumped in, but then we wouldn't have got it on video.
Before we put this guy in a coin, it's worth pointing out that Michigan's Department of Natural Resources considers raccoons nuisance wildlife, as they can damage your yard or feed on your livestock. But it seems like for these bros, this raccoon is now another one of the gang, and they're looking forward to him coming back.
Well, we've been close for 20 years, so, but, you know, now we got a new buddy, Rocket.
Actually, John gets credit for the name. He named it Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy. Rocket is not returned, but Friday we're hoping to see him, so.
It is worth pointing out that a new study of 2.3 million people just found that eating cheese can help you live longer, as a higher intake of cheese contributes to a positive mental well-being that contributes to your longevity. Then again, having a guy who can pound the cheese out of your throat when you're choking on it can help you live longer too.
There it is. A little bit lower.
Let's save his life.
That's it for your daily news refresh. My name is Greg Ott, and we put out new, interesting, and weird news videos each and every day of the week. I'm talking Monday. I'm talking Tuesday. I'm talking Wednesday. I'm talking Thursday. You get the bit, right? Please subscribe.